folks. How are we doing? We are back with what episode? Episode 20 of the MMA Monday podcast, even though it's Wednesday and there was nothing actually this past weekend in terms of MMA that we have to recap. So this episode actually might suck very badly because a lot of these other episodes that I do are normally to recap something that happened, for the MMA events that happened in the past weekend. This weekend we don't have anything, so this one's going to be a little bit I don't know, it may turn out really well because I have nothing prepared and it's just me pretty much babbling, and maybe this might be better than the format that I normally do, or this is just going to entirely suck. I'm going to have nothing to talk about, but we'll see. I do have a few things in mind that I'm going to talk about, like you guys can see in the title. I'm competing soon. We got Anderson Silva and a little bit more. Also, really quick, just to get this out of the way, I mentioned this, I think, last week in my video, I guess it was last week when I uploaded it, that I'm not going to be doing a video at all this week, and there's going to be no video this week at all except for this MMA Monday podcast. That's actually kind of the reason I'm doing this, even though, like I said, there wasn't anything to recap. I kind of want to at least have something out, and, the podcast itself really doesn't require much work from me other than just me hopping on here and actually talking, so no video this week. I am going to have a video next week. I already have it shot. I already have it recorded, everything like that. I'm actually editing it. It's kind of already chopped up and everything. I just got to do like the details and stuff like that, music, graphics, everything that pops up on the screen, making the video move around so it's just not one stagnant tape. But yeah, pretty much no video this week. I'm gonna have a video next week, and then the week after that I'm going to be competing on the October 2nd, and I'm going to be doing a video pretty much just like, documenting the whole time from when I actually sign up for the tournament, because I actually have to sign up this week because the deadline for the early registration ends this week, and I'm balling on a budget, guys. YouTube doesn't pay me yet. I got to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. I got 485 to go, I believe. If we're at 515 right now, I don't know. I'm very bad at math. But yeah, get me to 1,000 subs, and I won't be having to stress over getting the early registration for these flipping tournaments and save $10. But yeah, I'm gonna pretty much record it from the time I get myself signed up for the tournament, all pretty much through the whole week, I guess. I don't know what I do, workout, maybe some rolling footage of me at the gym, and obviously there's gonna be a little bit of a weight cut, nothing crazy. I weighed myself earlier. I was actually 3 days ago when I pretty much decided that I was gonna do this tournament. I was 168, which normally that's not too crazy for me. Usually my weight fluctuates anywhere from 165, 170. I've actually kind of been a little bit heavier recently, towards 170, even above 170. Normally, a vast majority of the time, I'm 165, but I'm going to try to get down to 154, which I've done that before. My last tournament that I did last October, it's actually almost to the day. Last one was October 3rd. This is October 2nd. I cut down to the same exact weight class, which is flyweight, I believe, for Fuji. It's 141 to 155, I believe, and that's the one I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to cut down for that because, for someone like me, being competing in the weight class I would compete in is 156 to 170. I don't know, I'm kind of towards the heavier of the weight class, but frame-wise, I'm not I'm not super jacked. I mean, you look at me, my arms aren't very can't even see my arms. I'm not super jacked, but so a lot of the people are going to be a little bit more denser and probably going to be the same size, in terms of height. I'll probably be taller than most people. Pretty much everybody that I'm going to probably face off against, I'm going to either be probably just as tall or pretty much a lot taller than. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like strength-wise, I can compete with people at the weight class below, the 154. And plus, I have a pretty unique build, so I think it makes it kind of tricky when someone like me is competing at that weight class. So I'm gonna cut down to 154. That's only 8 pounds, I think, right now, because I'm 162, or not 164 right now. I don't even know. Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. Again, like I said, I suck at math. But I need to get down to 154, and I'm 163, 164, 160, anywhere between 62 and 64. So pretty much going to document that whole thing, and then the actual tournament itself, my matches, show my matches, and then probably give a quick little recap outside after the tournament. So that'll be the video for not next week but the week after. And yes, like I said, I guess that pretty much covers the whole I'm competing in a jiu-jitsu tournament. It's kind of cool. Like it'll be my first one this year. I got one of my buddies too. If you guys saw my Jake Paul video, the one that I did where the reaction, I talked about how one of my friends predicted. I said shout out to my buddy Levi. He predicted the Jake Paul fight. Literally said that Jake Paul was gonna win by decision, and he started doing jiu-jitsu like I don't know, like I think like 2 months ago. I'm not exactly sure. But he trains at a different gym than me, but he's going to be competing there too. So it'll be cool to have someone else that I'm friends with actually competing. So it's I don't know, because normally none of my other friends like are into this kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm competing, and Anderson Silva, I guess, would be the MMA news to recap this past weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the music. I just realized the music is still running. I was messing around with it, seeing if I could leave it on for a little bit and have it like carry over from the intro. But Anderson Silva, Tito Ortiz, I wasn't really too surprised by that. I mean, the fact that Anderson Silva flattened or put Tito right like flat on his face, I was not expecting that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Anderson Silva knocked out Tito in a boxing fight, just because Anderson is a significantly better striker than Tito, and Tito is never known for his striking. I mean, he would just take you down and beat you with ground and pound. So I was kind of shocked in the fashion in which the fight ended. And then the main event, Vitor and Holyfield, again, that was just, I expected that. That was kind of, I mean, I don't understand what the promotion was thinking of putting almost a 60-year-old man against Vitor, who, I mean, granted is way past his prime, but he's definitely on TRT, and TRT Vitor is easily, when he's on TRT, he's probably has the biological age of like 25, 28, somewhere around there. Like he moves very well. He looks insane. Like he's jacked, he's ripped. So I don't know. I think it was kind of weird that they even thought that was a good idea to make that matchup. Although I do think the stoppage, the way the fight ended, was a little bit weird, because it didn't look like, I mean, yes, it didn't look like Holyfield had his legs under him or anything like that. Like he didn't look coordinated at all. But I don't know. I don't think you could have stopped the fight. At least wait for him to like get tagged with a couple shots. He was getting tagged, but I don't think one landed clean. Like they were just connecting while he was covering up. I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. But I don't know. I think that was kind of a weird fight. Both fights were kind of weird because they ended very fast. But Anderson, obviously, that was very much legit, a very legit stoppage. But I would be mad if I didn't watch it live. I checked all the highlights afterwards on Twitter. But I'd be mad if I did pay for that, because that would be kind of a rip off, especially flipping Payne Triller for a flipping 81-second knockout and like a 18-second knockout. And this is where the podcast probably starts getting bad, because I am running out of things to talk about. Jake Paul potentially could be fighting Anderson Silva, which is interesting. I think that would be an interesting fight, although he's talking about fighting Masvidal. He really wants to fight Masvidal, which probably won't happen, because I don't think Dana's going to let that happen. He's not going to let Jake Paul get that kind of payday off of a UFC fighter, especially someone under contract. Although I do think Masvidal actually, I don't know, Masvidal's smaller than Jake Paul, which is annoying, because I mean that fits Jake Paul's bill. Tommy Fury fight could also potentially happen, but I don't know. I feel like that fight is big, but I don't feel like in terms of like outside, like it's big, but because they both have like a big following, but I don't think Fury's following translates to the U.S. Like he's very, very big in the UK, but I don't think it's gonna get the same buzz as it would in the UK. Like the fight in general, just Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Like I feel like it would be way bigger overall in the UK than it probably would be anywhere else in the world. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a weird fight. I don't feel like a lot of U.S. people would be super interested in that unless they really push the fact that it's Tyson Fury's half brother. But I don't know. I think Anderson Silva would actually probably be a more interesting matchup, and I think it would probably sell just as well. Actually, probably better than Tommy Fury. Probably just as well or better than Masvidal as well, because, I mean, Anderson Silva is definitely... Masvidal is a name, but Anderson Silva is a name with a very, very good resume. I mean, one of the best of all time, if not the best MMA fighter of all time. And I think that would be a tricky fight, because he's actually a legitimate guy. He's also bigger than Jake Paul. And I don't know, it's annoying too, because he is like 46, I think, which is, I mean, again, fits Jake Paul's bill. But I don't know. I think that would be a bad fight for Jake. I think realistically he should probably go with the Tommy Fury fight, because it still is big, and Tommy Fury doesn't look all like he's a decent boxer, but he doesn't look all that great. Like he's not a high-level professional boxer. I mean, he's a professional boxer, but he's not high-level. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see what does happen. I don't think Logan Paul is going to probably take any more boxing matches. It doesn't sound like he wants to box anymore. It sounds like he's pretty content with that. And honestly, I don't blame him, because where do you go after fighting Floyd Mayweather? There's nothing really there's not like a big fight or a big payday. Anything, there's nothing that kind of peaks that fighting Floyd Mayweather. So the buzz probably won't ever be the same. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, though, to see who Jake Paul does kind of fight next, because now I am kind of interested. He has proven that he can be. I mean, Woodley, again, was very frustrating, and that's exactly what Woodley did in MMA, but I still thought Woodley could have beat him, just because Woodley does have knockout power. So that was kind of frustrating. I definitely am kind of not a fan, but I'll be watching. I'll definitely still continue watching. I don't want to say a fan, because I think the reason I'm watching is to see Jake Paul get knocked out, which I think is inevitable. It's going to happen at some point. But yeah, I don't know. Now this is what I was talking about, guys, because we're not going through the regular scheduled program. I'm kind of rambling off the top of my head. I don't really know what else to talk about. The fights, actually, we do have fights this week, and it's funny because the last podcast I did, I went and looked at the fights, and there was wait, I'm looking at my studio. Hold on, I gotta get over here. It's very confusing. It's very confusing when you're looking at yourself twice. But no, I was looking at this fight card like 2 weeks ago, whenever I did the last MMA Monday, a week ago, and I thought this card was actually this past weekend. I didn't realize that there was a weekend off of fights, but there was like no one on this card. So hopefully this card is a little bit more filled out. Even still, I'm not too impressed with the main event whenever this does decide to load. Got to take the labels off of water bottles too, because can't be giving any free promos to any water companies. You guys can pay me, though. You guys can send me cases of water and pay me to drink your water on my podcast, but otherwise no free promotion. Let me scroll down, go to the prelims. Hopefully this is filled out now. Timeout. I actually think I might know this dude. If this is the dude I'm thinking of, this guy's from Indiana, I'm pretty sure, because I'm fairly certain I have rolled with this dude before. I gotta actually look now. What's it? I'm fairly certain this dude's from Indiana. I actually know who that dude is. That's kind of crazy if he's fighting. I didn't know he was in the UFC, though. Oh, fight newcomer Van Camp. That's interesting. Hold on. Yeah, Lebanon, Indiana. That's crazy. Okay, spoiler alert, I'm from Indiana. Yeah, that's crazy. I think I've rolled with this dude before in jiu-jitsu. Yeah, that's him. Nicholas. Oh, that dude's off the Contender Series. I remember watching him. I don't know if he's had a fight in the UFC, though. Nicholas Mata. I'm going to go ahead and break this. I'm going to break this fight down now. So I got to wait. But no, that's really crazy. I had no idea this dude was even fighting on this card. I'm fairly certain I know who this dude is, though. That's kind of crazy. I don't know him, but I know of him because he's from Indiana, and I think he's been in my gym before. Starting off, though, the very first fight of the night, Emily Whitmire, Hannah Goldie. Don't really know much. I know who Hannah Goldie is. I think I've watched both of them fight. Hannah Goldie's pretty jacked, if I remember correctly. I'll go with her. Gustavo Lopez and... Excuse me. Try not to burp in the mic. I was trying to burp very quietly. Alatang Gali. I feel like I should know who this guy is. I've seen Gustavo Lopez fight before. If I'm thinking of the right person, he has some pretty good Muay Thai, some very nasty leg kicks. So I'm gonna go with Lopez, Carlston Harris, and Impa Kasaganai. Really quick, guys, if you guys want a solid bet, Carlston Harris, if he's still an underdog, I think he is. He's like plus 120, plus 110. Go ahead and put your money on Carlston Harris because I think this dude's a stud. He's got some very slick submissions. I'm definitely going to put some money on him for an underdog. There's some serious value there. I'm not even kidding. Just go listen. Take my word now, and then wait till the fights this weekend. Come back to me later, and let me know how much you won. Erin Blanchfield and Sarah Alpar. I think I've seen Sarah Alpar fight. Sarah Alpar fight. I don't know anything about Blanchfield, so I'll probably just go with Alpar. JP Buys, Montel Jackson. I don't know. This is kind of interesting fight because Baez had a very lackluster UFC debut. I don't know if he has fought anybody since then. Montel Jackson is a tough dude. I think he's had some weight issues before. Was it Jack Baez or Jake Baez? I don't even remember now. Or I might completely be off. What was his name? JP. Yeah, I knew it was something with a J, not Jack. But yeah, I think Montel has some weight issues. But I think Montel is actually a fairly tough fighter, so I'm gonna probably go with Montel. But I want to see if young savage JP Baez has any, or if he's fought anybody since he had his god awful UFC debut against Bruno Silva. Doesn't look like it. He was scheduled to fight Francisco Figueiredo, which probably I think would have been a bad fight for him. Montel Jackson, what's his record? 10-2. Yeah, I'm fairly certain he's had some weight issues. He hasn't really beat anybody. He beat Brian Kelleher. That's actually not a bad feather in your cap. Got decision by Ricky Simone. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go with Montel Jackson in this fight. I gotta move it on. I gotta move on though, because I'm breaking these down too slow. Rongzu and Brandon Jenkins. I don't know who Brandon Jenkins is, but I bet on Rongzu before and he totally wronged me. Going with Brandon Jenkins. Raquel Pennington and Pansy Kianzad. I'll probably go with Raquel Pennington, honestly. Tefon Nchukwi, Mike Rodriguez. This actually is probably going to be a very exciting fight. I think somebody will get knocked out. Probably going to go with Nchukwi. He's got a fairly solid kickboxing base. Looks like he has some finishing troubles though. Like his UFC debut, I think he had I don't remember if he did actually end up finishing the guy, but I know I bet on him to win like a first round knockout and he didn't. But I'll probably go with Tefon Nchukwi in this fight. I'm just curious to see, did he knock the guy out or was it a decision? I thought it was a decision. Oh wow, actually he no he won his first fight by decision and then got beat by Jun Young Park. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go with I don't know. I'm gonna go with Nchukwi. I like him because I saw him off Contender Series. Van Camp and Cameron Van Camp and Nicholas Mata. I'm gonna go with Van Camp because if this is the guy I'm thinking of, he's got some pretty solid grappling. Like at least to me, he seemed pretty skilled. Nicholas Mota, I remember watching him on the Contender Series. I don't remember exactly how he won, but I'm gonna go with Van Camp. Gotta stick with let me see with what Mota. Has Mota beat anybody of note outside of the UFC? Beat Joe Selecki. I feel like I know who that guy is. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some names, but I don't think I recognize any of these people. Van Camp, I'm not sure if he's fought anybody outside of the UFC before, or from the UFC outside, obviously, before he was in the UFC. Thomas Gifford, actually, he was in the UFC. I think if that's the guy I'm thinking of, he got like flat or knocked out flat on his face. Austin Hubbard, Thud Hubbard, that's another UFC guy. Okay, got rear naked choke though. That's not good. Okay, he's fought 2 UFC guys and went to a no contest. I want to see what the actual result of this fight was. No contest. Who originally won? Originally a win for... Okay, so Van Camp lost that. I don't know then. Van Camp... He seemed like he had solid grappling to me, but he's been choked out twice on his record. I'm going with Van Camp, though. Or at least 2 times that I saw against UFC guys. Joe Manis and Tony Gravely. I'll probably go with Tony Gravely. Antonio Arroyo and Joaquin Buckley. I'll probably go with Joaquin Buckley by KO. Mon Sukarian. This will be a very entertaining fight just because Sukarian is incredibly skilled. I'm going with Sukarian. Ariane Lipsky and Mandy Bohm. I'm not familiar with Mandy Bohm. I'm going to go with Lipsky, though. Ian Kutalaba and Devin Clark. I don't know. It's going to be really dependent on whether or not Kutalaba just actually finishes Clark in like the first round, because he just goes balls to the wall with takedowns for the first round and then gasses out, and then it's probably going to be Clark's fight. I don't know. This is a 50-50 fight, so I don't know. Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann. That's kind of interesting. They got Devin Clark and the co-main, and Anthony Smith and the main. They fought in their last fight or a couple fights ago. Ryan Spann, Anthony Smith. I'll go with Anthony Smith just because I think Anthony Smith is he has the skills, and like he's obviously been at the highest level of the division and of the sport. You know, fighting probably one of the best of all time in John Jones. One of the best. I don't know. I don't want to get in that debate. That's like a whole other podcast. That could be a whole podcast in of itself, debating who the best of all time is. But I think just skillfully, he's got the experience, he's got the skills, he's very well rounded. I don't know. Ryan Spann is tough, but I haven't. I don't know. This would be an interesting fight for Spann because we can really find out if Spann can compete at the top of the division. Let me see what the matchup looks like. Spann 6'5", 3-inch reach advantage for Spann. So Spann could maybe stand up with him, keep him at range, pop him with some jabs, use some teep kicks, and just beat him on points. I don't know. This is kind of an interesting fight though because it could be a big coming out party for Ryan Spann, or it's just Anthony Smith beating another can because that's all his past couple fights have been. He seems like he's kind of half in and half out of the sport. But yeah, I don't know. Betting wise, you guys should definitely go with the that Carlston Harris money line. I'm not sure exactly what the odds are for him. I'll actually look. I'll pull it up and see what his odds are. Maybe go through some quick bets because I'm not familiar. Whoa, I missed the beginning of the stream. When are you competing? 2 weeks from Saturday, October 2nd. Let me see if I can pull up some of the odds, and I'll give you guys some quick picks for bets. If there's some good lines, that is. The only good line that I know is the Carlston Harris, but that was the only eye catcher when I first looked. And lines move a lot, like crazy. So, let me see. UFC, switch back over here in a second, show you guys my screen. Alright, I don't know. Whenever this decides to load, I'll show you guys. Okay. Hannah Goldie? Okay, I don't know. You probably bet the underdog in the women's fight. It's my philosophy because the underdogs always pull through. Gustavo Lopez, there's probably maybe some value there at plus 110. Carlston Harris is now. Oh, wow. Okay, that disappeared. Carlston Harris, I don't know why it just switched to baseball. Carlston Harris moved to plus 105, so lines are moving a lot. People must be putting in money on Carlston Harris, so you better place your bets now because I actually probably need to place my bet now because it was like plus 125 last time I looked. Montel Jackson is a massive favorite. Wow. Tony Gravely, Nate Maness, Mike Rodriguez. They don't have the Van Cam fight on here. Sukarian's a massive favorite as well. I wonder what the little parlay right here would be. It's probably not even like decent odds. Where's Montel at? I just saw him. 343, 345. Okay, you'd have to throw in another leg. What's like another? Throw Carlston in there. Low key, that might be a little parlay. That might not be a bad little parlay. 3 leg plus 164. Fairly low risk. Let me see. What would Joaquin Buckley to win by KO? Minus 110. Make a little juiced parlay. That low key might be not a bad parlay. Obviously, a little bit risky up here, but you definitely have some locks. My luck though is like all these 3 legs will hit, and then the Sukarian will win, but like Montel Jackson will lose or something like that. Knowing my luck, like one of the locks. I don't know. That might be a little parlay if you want to put some money on it. I actually kind of like Carlston Harris for sure. I've said that a bunch. And then Joaquin Buckley by KO doesn't seem too terrible. But yeah, I don't really have much to talk about, honestly, because this was definitely all off the top of my head. I don't know. I'll definitely be back next week with the podcast recapping the fights. Video, like I said, next week is going to be uploaded. It's already shot, recorded, chopped up, and everything. Pretty much just going through the fine-tuning on the editing. And pretty much taking this whole week off. I mentioned it in my other video just because I want to kind of reset my mind, get a couple better video ideas down, kind of refocus, kind of just work on improving the content, because when I do a video every single week. I upload videos weekly, sometimes multiple videos a week. It is like it's a grind, and you kind of got to stick to it, and it's a consistent thing. But like once you're in the groove, you don't want to get out of the groove, so it's kind of annoying. But it's also at the same time like I don't want to get out of the groove, because once you get out of the groove, it's really hard to get back in the groove. But I also feel like there gets to a point where it's diminishing returns, where you're just uploading and you're not really allowing yourself to like kind of refresh, reset, and kind of come up with, just take time to actually focus on bettering things, improving things, and getting new ideas down instead of just kind of building off the same stuff. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I hope you guys understand. Like, comment, subscribe. I apologize. Let me know if this episode sucked. If it didn't, like I said, it was kind of all over the place and really unplanned. But if you guys did, please be sure to drop a like, share this podcast, share my videos if you guys know anyone else that would enjoy my type of content. Send my videos your way. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, I will catch you guys next week for another episode and another video.